In today's video,
and Steam data links show that Spooky Star, SpookRL, PeakRL, Picky, and all of these other usernames are tied to one individual Steam account. But remember, all of this information is coming from a random white boy, so surely it's not sustainable and proper information, right? Further from context. So by now, we all know that SpookRL is Picky for certain because of his previous Steam usernames. So I guess Picky's story might be a account until someone falls apart real quick. I had also really never put two and two together that RL stood for Rocky League. I must be incredibly slow. PeakRL, SpookRL.
Sileskios, I'll make the rest of your life sleeping with a god.
A monster. That's what we exposed nearly a year ago. A monster whose actions have impacted more than 15 innocent children. A monster who cares for no one but himself. He built an army of loyal followers, people willing to defend him at any cost. But that is not how this ends. Monsters like this survive in silence, and silence is something I refuse to give. I thought the story was finished, but it wasn't. Not because the truth changed, but because more voices found the courage to speak. More victims came forward. More stories surfaced. And the full scope of the harm became impossible to ignore. It seems I can't help but call out real monsters. Well, if you haven't seen the previous expose videos, then this video is for you. But if you're looking for the original or older allegations, then consider revisiting the older videos. Nearly a year ago, I reported on a disturbing predatory individual who operated under several online aliases. But the story was far from over. Lord Picky, Picky Silly, Picky Paw, PeakRL, SpookRL, and Spooky Star. At one point, he even went so far as to impersonate Lineshoe, a well-known VTuber. Picky openly assigned himself the title of God of Femboys. It wasn't just cringe, but also a warning sign. What made this case especially powerful wasn't guessing or coincidence, but digital consistency. While people may change names, online platforms and data logs don't forget nearly as easily. Using publicly available tools such as Steam ID Checker, one of my favorites, we were able to trace the old usernames like PeakRL directly back to his current Steam profile, which is now operating under the name of Picky. Who would have guessed it, huh? The account shows a continuous history that strongly indicates that it was not purchased or transferred, which Picky himself has tried to claim several different times. But this will not assist you in brushing off the allegations. The distinction matters because both Steam and Discord state in their terms of services that they prohibit buying or selling accounts. Violations typically result in swift enforcement actions, including permanent bans. In other words, Picky wouldn't have been able to borrow a new identity or buy a new account as he claims. It was the same individual, just attempting to outrun his past while unknowingly leaving it fully intact. And that pattern of constant rebranding without accountability is something we've seen way too much recently. I'm gonna be so for real. I hate when they rebrand. Predators always do. Why do predators always do that? My first video documenting Picky's behavior was imperfect to my own standards today, but it was factual information. It showed that under the alias of SpookRL, Picky engaged in explicit interactions with several underage individuals while being a legal adult. These interactions were previously documented in detail by BarksyRun through archived Twitter threads and screenshots. None of this information was speculation. It had already been carefully documented by BarksyRun in said Twitter threads. However, the video never truly reached Picky's audience because every attempt to reference or share this video was quickly and quietly buried by moderation systems, effectively just disappearing into the void by Picky's command.
Yeah, Sileskios was never here. He's just Batman waiting, lurking in the dark, pulling screenshots from thin air.
I originally reported this case to the NCMEC, and I was informed that the report had been received and reviewed and was actively being investigated. The appropriate steps had been taken, but Picky himself confirmed this in a recent post on X, shortly before disappearing on all public social media, and Picky is now back yet again. But that is not where this ends. I will continue until there is a real accountability. Because the harm that Picky caused to younger people is very real, and everyone watching and everyone speaking up knows that it's real as well. Picky regularly uploaded inappropriate and low-effort shorts to YouTube. Today I'm going to be reacting to How I Look at Bro by Picky Silly. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. His audience was used to consuming only this explicit femboy slop and brain rot, and as a result, my video was immediately met with coordinated pushback. His audience, highly unstable and aggressively loyal, accepted his narrative without question. Any mention of my video was mass deleted at Picky's command. Rather than addressing the allegations head on, he relied on suppressing me and the others speaking out. And for a significant period, he refused to respond to the allegations at all because the evidence presented was so difficult to dispute. Eventually, Picky attempted to publish a response video. That response video was quickly and thoroughly debunked in my second video. Not long after, his video was removed by YouTube for child endangerment.
I really can't take this serious, I'm sorry. That was so stupid, man. Drama's always so goddamn stupid. Next time you make a video, at least don't censor everything and try to use some actual legitimate proof.
Your wish is granted, here's a video with even more proof. During this first period, members of his community escalated from harassment into direct threats. These included threats against my partner Stronzina and myself, ranging from violent intimidation of SA, attempted doxing, and claims that they possessed and posted images of my real-life house in their Discord. Some supporters even posted videos containing explicit violent threats.
I will make sure this is all more fun. Silksos, I'll make the rest of your life sleeping with a Just so you know, there'll be more than a flood. Laughing as I drain your old wife of her milk. Nothing more. I'll laugh as you cry.
This was not isolated behavior, it was the environment that Picky allowed to flourish. For our safety, we took it upon ourselves to take additional precautions during that time, such as triple encrypted VPNs. To this day, Picky's Discord server remains active and has grown significantly, gaining over 10,000 additional members since my first video. What had been shown throughout this case is a complete absence of accountability, a willingness to rebrand, deflect, and continue on as if nothing ever happened. But behavior like this does not simply disappear. My goal here is not to speak over the victims, but to reach the audience still supporting Picky, to ask them to pause and consider the impact on the children involved, as well as the impact on my partner and myself, to consider the feelings of the people targeted for speaking out, and to consider the fact this case has already drawn the attention of hundreds of thousands of others, including the authorities. That matters. It should matter to anyone still watching. SpookRL was not an isolated alias. Archived Rocket League profiles, Twitch accounts, and Steam data links show that Spookyster, SpookRL, PikaRL, Picky, and all of these other usernames are tied to one individual Steam account. But you have to remember that all of this information is coming from a random white boy, so surely it's not sustainable or proper information, right? Right? I'm digging your grave even further full of context. So by now, we all know that SpookRL is Picky for certain due to his previous Steam usernames. So I guess Picky's story of buying the account off of someone falls apart real quick. I had also really never put two and two together that RL stood for Rocket League. I must be incredibly slow. PikaRL, SpookRL, all of these Rocket League oriented names, and I never put RL together. Really. As of the 15th of December 2025, Picky has cleared his Reddit comments on Spookyster, further suggesting evidence of going into hiding. But here's what I had cliff noted from these posts prior to deletion. Before Picky's descent into darkness, Spookyster, an 18-year-old obsessed with Rocket League, had an unhealthy amount of hours in game wisdom. But even back then, back in October 23rd of 2019, looking at these messages, there was clear emotion, someone who would cheer on consistency, someone who encouraged others. But Spookyster quickly changed. Spookyster was gone, transitioned into a monster we now know as SpookRL towards the end of 2019. Whatever caused this transition of identity would purely be speculation. Claims that these accounts were purchased collapsed even under minimal scrutiny. In 2019, under the SpookRL identity, Picky was already involved in scamming behavior with the Rocket League community. Public call-out posts documenting this behavior have remained archived. By 2020, Barksy Run published further evidence showing SpookRL engaging in several explicit conversations with multiple individuals under the legal age of consent, including sending explicit images and attempting to justify his behavior by referencing Germany's age of consent, despite sending illegal material that clearly violated the law. While Picky is the main focus of this video, I do quickly want to note that Barksy Run, the creator of the Picky threads, is not innocent themselves, as I had originally thought they were. It turns out that there are 3 different documents of predatory behavior being alleged against Barksy Run, so they are not a hero by any means. I will return to Barksy Run's allegations someday in the future. Spook, aka Picky, requested various explicit favors, such as requesting the victim to send him their explicit goop, begging Fisco to see it for $200, and Picky talks about covering his own bed in goop. These were not misunderstandings, they were repeated escalated choices, allegations under every username that Picky chose. And while the age of consent is exceptionally lower in Germany, you still had sent explicit photos completely eradicating the concept of it being within legality. You became a predator, and yet Spook is clearly self-aware, talking about going to jail. Truthfully, you do deserve jail. Spook continued to roleplay with this victim in explicit displays, making a creep out of himself even further. Spook had gotten into another inappropriate and explicit friendship with another child, who is 5 years below the legal age of consent, while Spook themselves was 18, possibly 19 at the moment in time, immediately destroying the age of consent excuse. He talks about his and killing the victim and talks about how he's getting solid around them. Now let's not forget that this is just a couple of months after the last victim. Spook would also use self-damage as a form of control, threatening himself if the victim wouldn't speak in a call with him.
I'm in my Ozempic era. Ready to start yours?
You were late for a Discord call again, kitten.
Eventually, Spook manipulated this victim into getting into a relationship with him, unsuccessfully, might I add. This is who Spook was, this is who Spook had become, and in the end, Spook acknowledged their wrongdoings in a massive Discord post. Under the Pika RL identity, Picky expanded his presence while continuing deceptive behavior. During the outbreak of war in Ukraine, Pika RL falsely claimed to be Ukrainian, stating that his home had been destroyed in a bombing, despite previously identifying as German.
But yeah guys, I'm gonna be back in a moment. AK Pika's gonna be back in a moment. I'm not gonna be back. Polski has to deal with Ukrainian crisis. So I'm gonna be back in a second. I'm gonna end stream and Pika's gonna be here in a minute. Okay. Polski says, hope you enjoyed the stream. Polski is gonna be gone, but Pika's gonna take over.
And even then, it was pretty easy to tell that Pika was faking this accent. Literally everyone knew it too. It was like Pika had began disassociating, gaining a new personality, and that personality just so happened to be named after Barksy Run, the person who exposed Pika. This false narrative about being Ukrainian was supposed to be used to solicit sympathy and financial support from Picky's audience. When exposed by another creator named Vtubers and challenged for the controversy, Pika RL banned critics, changed the wording publicly, and later bragged that no action had been taken against him, treating the lack of immediate enforcement as validation rather than accountability. Let me just say that it is not a flex in any way that you managed to not get banned on Twitch. Twitch is notorious for having zero practicality when it comes to banning those who deserve it. You took advantage of a real tragedy and profited off of it. A tragedy that genuinely affected other humans, and you used it for your own gain. It doesn't get more ban-worthy than that. Even now, Picky continues to solicit money from his audience through Ko-Fi, earning an estimated minimum of $2,000 per month. In order to make these funds, he has made repeatedly false claims about his identity, including his race, disability status, nationality, and narratives that have all been publicly disproven with evidence. Despite multiple reports outlining this behavior and documented history, the Ko-Fi page still remains active. Picky's community members have also reported that those who refuse to donate are promptly banned without hesitation. And of course, we all know how donations make Picky feel.
Like, people are like, oh, I donated, he's gonna thank me now, and I'm just going, oh my god, is that $5?
The people at the time knew what kind of monster Pika was prior to this happening, due to the allegations catching up with him from the previous username of SpookRL. But not just those allegations, but also the new ones that Barksy had just posted. Pika had attempted to get into a relationship with yet another underage victim, even though said victim already had a partner at the time, and Pika had already known this to be the case. Pika knew exactly what they were doing, how they were affecting this person and their partner, and how inappropriate their actions truly were, talking about giving control to the victim under certain circumstances, and asking repeatedly why it's wrong for Pika to give contact, and using family as an example. Well, family is blood related, and Pika, you aren't blood related in the slightest. Your grandma gives you smooches, so why can't I? I hit my head on a rock when I was younger. It's like what? There are a total of 24 screenshots of Pika attempting to force this physical contact and relationship onto this victim. It's genuinely creepy and disgusting. Another thing worth mentioning is Barksy talks about how Pika would get his fanbase to defend him, but this is a common habit that continues even to this day. A coward hiding behind degeneracy, a VTuber mask with the darkest of intentions. But even back in 2022, Picky was talking with another victim who's linked directly to his current account, where it's clearly stated, everyone is having fun while Picky is alone, which confirms that Picky's account wasn't purchased yet again. There are tons of clips online under the Rocket League community showing Pika RL playing Rocket League and even using a pre-made VTuber model, having the identical voice to Picky himself today.
Like, bro, I can do flicks that don't exist. I don't even... Guys, what was that?
Bah! Guys, I made a new YouTube channel. It's called Picky VA.
And clips on YouTube where Pika is constantly in 1v1s in Rocket League. And to this day, Pika RL's TikToks remain up, a reminder of the dark past that Picky carries with him. I mean, my community even created a server predator bingo card to show you how awful this guy is. Take a look at this. The guy fills nearly every role. Oh, I guess we can add Roblox to the list now too. That makes 3 bingos. Let's go. Where's everybody going? Bingo? I'm sorry. In another video uploaded to YouTube titled The True Downfall of Pika RL / Lord Pixie by Tonic, a lot of older unavailable information is revealed and uncensored. But there was one part in particular that I wanted to point out. In the first minute of the video, there are some icons shown in this video, specifically of Pika RL's old profiles on Twitch. These specific icons just so happen to be an identical match to the previously used Steam icons on Picky's current Steam. When I tell you that Picky is arguably one of the most racist individuals I've ever laid my eyes on, it is entirely true. Everything has to be related to a certain dictator or just straight up insulting people of color, even creators like iShowSpeed. Remember that all of this racism is coming from a white German boy, by the way.
You called me white even though I'm black? You're black.
Again, you're not black, you're white. So, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Get a reality check. Go straight to prison.
Are you fucking whitewashing me? I think that's like the tip of the iceberg.
But you gotta remember, Picky claims he's totally not homophobic, transphobic, racist, or sexist, right? What? If you guys see a post by some random called Boxy, just know it's completely fake and baseless, just like my entire life. As I said before, I barely even talk to people, and I was never really active anywhere, despite previously admitting to the allegations under my SpookRL name. Yeah, I guess I did do that. People have been accusing me of all sorts of things, trying to cancel me, but I refuse to go into detail because I'm a predator. I'd just like to say that this excuse Pika gave years ago is the same one that he gave to me and his current audience. With a new VTuber avatar and a refined aesthetic, Picky shifted focus to mass-producing explicit femboy content slop on YouTube and Twitch. He did not draw the artwork that he used. The majority of it was scrapped or stolen from other artists. Artists like Noon later came forward in my previous video's comment section after discovering that their artwork had been reposted, dubbed over, and monetized without consent. When copyright claims were filed, Picky responded with public meltdowns and false accusations. You can probably guess how the Twitter folks reacted to the irony of Picky calling Noon a predator. Yeah, it went like this. They've become a well-renowned artist thief even beyond Nun's work. Following my videos documenting Picky's behavior, Picky began releasing his own documents and videos accusing others of similar predatory conduct, including server owners and YouTube creators such as Nun, Velkian, Linechu, Bungo Taiga, and Fuwafa, some of whom are literally victims of Picky themselves. Desperate to be relevant once more, are we? Now, to be clear, I am not endorsing or dismissing the allegations against any of these creators. I have not independently reviewed these claims. What matters here is Picky's behavior. His only consistent valid criticism is related to titles and thumbnails of these other creators. Beyond that, though, there is no indication that these actions were motivated by genuine concern for children. A clear example of this shift can be seen in Picky's response to the controversy involving Schlepp and Roblox, where Roblox faced criticism over its handling of predatory activity on the platform. You can probably guess where Picky's allegiance landed. Now, what mistakes did Schlepp cause by being a victim on the platform of Roblox exactly? Because I'm sorry, you must have been hit by a brick when you were younger. Rather than expressing concerns for victims or contributing constructively, Picky inserted himself into the situation with commentary designed to provoke engagement.
You know what I miss most about playing? Yelling, "Hey!" So I got this job.
A serious issue was reframed into an opportunity for attention. And so I went ahead and I sent Schlepp the message. And Schlepp, of course, responded with Lamau, and honestly, there's no better way to respond. Doubling down, advocating for Schlepp means that pretending to be a decoy to lure people off of Roblox and meet up with them is not a rule break. Schlepp has given a one-to-one guide for predators. What are you saying, bro? This has to be rage bait. Like, I know you do it for clicks, but my brother, you linked Roblox's market value as if it provided any context to your statement. I'm so done, dude. Arguably, this self-admitted allegation makes Picky stand out from the rest of the monsters that I've covered. In my second video, I documented additional incidents dating back roughly 2 years ago. This included continued predatory behavior towards underage individuals, and an instance in which Picky admitted in the general chat of his own Discord server that he had begun forcing others to do his will physically. No wasn't an option anymore. Picky admitted that those thoughts turned into actions. Then Picky went to a park by bus and recognized the girl at the stop. He admits to snapping and following this girl until he pulled this girl into an alleyway, tore her clothing from her, and admitted to assaulting her. Multiple victims described being targeted while under the age of consent. Picky requested explicit recordings, sent explicit images, and attempted to isolate victims emotionally. In each case, the same pattern appears: awareness of age, continued pursuit, explicit escalation, and manipulation. Picky had attempted to get with several children under the new alias. The first was 3 years below the legal age of consent, while Picky themselves was 23. Picky would ask the victim to record themselves doing disgusting deeds, so he could hear them making sounds. Picky requested again and again to be used like a and he consistently requested to be called to over and over again. And Picky talks about biting and seeing explicit photos of the victim, talking about how he's interested in seeing them use the specifically number 2. It's genuinely one of the worst things that I've seen on the internet. Gonna need some daily dose of internet after this. Or a cute kitty cat. And Picky requests that the victim takes it of him, and Picky manipulates this victim, talks about how they can't get close to them because they aren't officially in a relationship yet. Picky wants this victim all to himself, and of course here's the photo from earlier that I had shown on screen of the explicit toys that he had sent to this victim as well. This was all new evidence. This wasn't evidence gathered by Barksy Run. It had all occurred in the span of 2 years. Now, take a listen to the victim's audio statement.
Can you tell how and when you met Pixie? Okay, so what I saw him on, I saw him on YouTube. I saw his channel and I was like, oh, he looks like a cool creator. I also just liked his voice, to be honest. That's literally the only good thing about him is his accent. Sorry, I'm rambling. But I joined the server and then we just started messaging one day. I met him in voice chat. He found out I was a girl and then just started DMing me, you know? Question 2, how old are you now and how old are you in the first? I'm at least 10. I was 15, freshly from me when I met Pixie. Yeah. He would message me like at night, my night. He's 6 hours ahead. He'd be like, oh, I can't say this words, but oh, I'm so I'm like, oh, okay. And he'd be like, can you please call? And I'm like, okay, in a second. Then he would and call. But in the way that he was like, oh, I think you should not say to him. How do you feel about him denying everything to this day, despite you sharing your story? It pisses me off. I'm not even gonna lie. It pisses me off so greatly. that he thinks he's indestructible and can get away with anything he feels.
And what about this next underage victim where Picky requests to see them it again? Do you have a thing for that, Picky? Because it's genuinely disgusting, especially to ask for this from someone below the legal AOC. Oh, but wait, we can confirm that you have a thing for this, can't we? And what about in this other instance where Picky talks about being on victim who's 18 minus 2 while Picky themselves is in their 20s, talking about doing explicit things to them. And I mean, it's quite detailed, and yet in the end, Picky was directly stated to have known that this individual was under the legal age of consent. It's all an evident pattern. AI is on the rise, and I don't mean Roombas with knives or robots stealing your jobs. I'm talking about image generation, like martial art cats, or worse, much worse. Recently, Picky commented on an Instagram post asking people to show him proof that AI-generated explicit content involving even existed. And by doing that, he didn't just question it. He turned a real, very serious problem into a joke.
AI is making child. Yeah.
And let's not fail to mention that Picky to this day continues to consume explicit content related to underage characters and advertises his own Discord servers as NSFW communities. Clearly, Pigeon supports Picky as his right-hand man. You can't claim ignorance, and you can't dismiss responsibility, ruining one of my favorite birds, by the way. In the end, this isn't about drama, clout, or personal vendettas. It's about a documented pattern that spans years, multiple aliases, multiple platforms, and more than 15 children whose lives were permanently affected by the same individual. This record exists not because I want it to, but because Picky had created it. As of now, Picky has stepped away from public view, transferred ownership of his community, and removed himself from direct accountability. Law enforcement has confirmed contact, and an investigation is ongoing. That alone should matter to anyone still choosing to defend him. And to his audience, ask yourselves once more why so many people across so many years tell the same story. Ask why the evidence never changes, only the name attached to it does. And to the victims who came forward all these years, you were not ignored, you were not lying, and you were never the problem. Picky, you once told a victim, "My book should have closed long ago," and you were right. I'm Sileskios, and this is the record that you left behind, and the one you'll have to live with.
Alright, man, this is gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings. But I'm gonna have to say the big elephant in the room. And I know a lot of you might get your feelings hurt by it, or you might try to flip my words around. So, let's just, get into this real quick. Right. So, I'm going to talk about this once, because we are going to, no, I'm going to be talking about this twice. I'm sorry. I'm going to be talking about this twice, and we're going to keep going into it. But there is officially an infighting predator war going on. Predator hunter war, excuse me. Didn't say the correct terminology. And because this is happening, this is what really piqued my interest. So what's happening here, guys and girls? That predator war thing, we'll get into that. And when I keep saying predator war, I keep fucking saying that. I don't know why I don't just say predator hunter war. Hey, the predator hunter war thing is going to be probably in the third video coming up this week of this month. Sorry. Right. So we gotta discuss these long, abrupt, fucking obnoxious documentaries like this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I need to talk to you guys about something. It's either, at this point, me personally, I'm here for results. What do I mean by results? I mean by someone wanting to get rid of the predator. Not sitting here making a documentary with a cinematic intro and high quality editing and then proclaiming to say that he's a predator and then we just walk away. That's the shit I have a problem with. But this, okay, this is what I don't have a problem with. Spreading awareness is fine, but doing the more entertainment factor of it is getting on my nerves personally. So let's go back to the email, or I believed the email he sent. So this guy actually pulled the fuck up and actually did the right fucking thing. Let's give him a clap, people. Let's give him a clap. This is what you should be doing. But no one does that. No one does it. No one follows directions. Everything's a fucking issue. People make it a problem. They start arguing. They start talking, saying, you're defending the predator. You're defending this and that. You know? So this is the prime example of what I want people to do if you're a predator hunter. Pull up and do something about it. Don't say they did nothing. Don't say this and that and make a big fuss out of it. Predator hunters are pulling up and saying, okay, cool, fine. Can't do nothing. Who can I reach out to that will do something? But a lot of these content creators would love to do defamation and slander on the police and literally start saying they're doing nothing. Read the rules, read the law, understand where you're at, and you'll win. That's it. That's all you need to do. There's no reason for an ego or fucking, oh my god, he's defending such and such. You don't need to tell people who they're defending when they haven't even claimed that from their mouth, their words. But people like to do that in the gaming community for some reason. So this is what I'm personally happy for, that they had actually reached out to law enforcement of the cyber division. This is why I'm telling you right now, this is what I love to see. Every single time that I see this type of result, it tells me they reached out. And then on top of that, let's replay it one more time. Since he himself said it, because it's in here somewhere. Sorry. If I can find the little police part where my bad. Let me keep looking. You guys saw it for yourself. Okay.
Audience, ask yourselves once more why so many people across so many years tell the same story. Ask why the evidence never changes, only the name attached to it does. And to the victims who came forward all these years, you were not ignored, you were not lying, and you were never the problem. Picky, you once told a victim, my book should have closed long ago. And you were right. I'm Sileskios, and this is the record that you left behind, and the one you'll have to live with. Owning one of my favorite birds, by the way. In the end, this isn't about drama, clout, or personal vendettas. It's about a documented pattern that spans years, multiple aliases, multiple platforms, and more than 15 children whose lives were permanently affected by the same individual. This record exists not because I want it to, but because Picky had created it. As of now, Picky has stepped away from public view, transferred ownership of his community, and removed himself from direct accountability. Law enforcement has confirmed contact, and an investigation is ongoing.
There you go. That's what I want right there. That's all I want. If you're contacting law enforcement and you know you're going through the avenues of looking for every little spot in the world, right? Every little spot in the world. Just looking at the spots that no one can find. If you're doing that, then that's the type of shit I want to see. You know, like, here's the thing. Oh my god. I'm probably gonna get this shit fucking taken out of context and fucking clipped and all this shit. Right. So this might even get me clipped from some lame ass nigga's channel, but I could care less. So since this is exactly how I want to see it in the results, here's what not to do. So I called out a random nigga on the fact that, you know, I don't care about the other stuff I called him out on, but I will say this much. I called out a random nigga who felt very comfortable in his little position, telling us this and that, and, you know, everyone had to go with this because he said it, and, you know, you can't disbelieve him or else you're considered a part of the pedophiles team, which is fucking stupid, but we're gonna let it be. So, you know, I said one thing about him, in particular, the one thing that really struck a nerve is, you know, called out the fact that a certain predator is still running rampant. He's still free. He's still able to do what he wants. And you know, his excuse is, no, we couldn't do anything. The police sat there. The police let it go. And they did nothing. So, yeah, keep in mind, the lie that was told and the person ended up exposing themselves for one thing. I'm just not going to bother exposing because there's no point. The person exposed himself on one thing. They automatically admitted that they called from a distance, then proclaimed to say that they were face to face. And I'm saying here, like, face to face? That doesn't make any sense. Can he elaborate further on what face to face was? Was it in your hometown or was it in his home field? Didn't get an elaboration. All I got was a nice guy gamer voodoo switch around my voice thing. You're basically defending the pedophile. You're friends with the pedophile. I don't even know where it was coming from. That's what's so crazy. I didn't even know where it's coming from. I don't know where befriending someone else was coming from for questioning that person. So, you know, when predator hunters do their thing, they at least try. And it's the same thing with Gideon. He keeps looking for an avenue no matter how many times they try to stop him. So they're forced to eventually give into it. Look, this is also going to get you guys into the next video as well. I want you guys to do these things for results, not for the entertainment factor, where we're making long, annoying, heavily edited documentaries, right? And calling this person such and such. Let's actually get results in and get law enforcement involved. However, those people did get law enforcement involved, but they were very uneducated and illiterate to understand what to do. So basically, meaning they were not in the pedophiles vicinity. And unfortunately, guys and girls, until this very day, the pedophile is happy as can be. No more heat on his back. He's out of, as quoted, the neck of the woods. Our neck of the woods. So I guess, you know, he can go ahead and groom someone else and violate someone else. And, yep, he's out of our neck of the woods. We have to just go along with it. Keep in mind, the people had the evidence. They just didn't know how to do anything with it, so they just gave up. So it's disappointing. It really is disappointing. And I feel bad. And I feel disgusted that it was put in the wrong person's hands. But look, guys. Can we have better made choices when we're doing this predator hunter shit without trying to make it more of the entertainment factor and more likely getting rid of the problem? I know I have to speak slow because everyone doesn't understand. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I saw this person and, you know, just to promote it, you know what I'm saying? I gotta promote this shit. Because why not? Let me look it up for y'all. Because I have it. I'm telling you right now, I have it. So just to show you guys. There we go. So this person in particular has a whole file on them. If you guys want to look at that shit, you know what I'm saying? Look through that if you want to. I could actually, nicely enough, I should actually give you guys at least what you're looking at. I just don't hope I look at something that's really inappropriate. So, you know, trans person, trans individual. And there's a Google Doc right here that you guys can go through. I'm not going through it because of safety precautions. Don't know what's on it. Don't know what the content's on it at all. So I don't want to violate something that could get me in serious trouble. As of now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hit the books. And I hope you guys have a good one. Make sure if you're an actual predator hunter out here, you know, actually be doing your job. Stop doing the entertainment factor of it and sitting there calling a nigga a pedophile and making 5-hour documentaries with a high quality thumbnail and saying he's fucking a pedophile and then doing nothing and then just walking away and be like, I exposed the dude. So basically, in short terms, I'm tired of the exposing entertainment factor of it. And I just want results. Anyways, guys and girls, I'll see you tomorrow. Same standard time. Peace out.
Hi, I'm Lucy Christian. I am the voice of Ochako Uraraka, and you should subscribe to Neusxanity's channel. Peace out!